Hi everyone, welcome to the TV live show number 1. How are you? How's the energy level today? Okay, you're pretty exhausted. That's a very good sign for me. So you're having a lot of networking. So welcome, dear friends. I can see very familiar faces here, and I'm so happy to welcome you to this panel. So the topic we're going to cover together in the following 60 minutes is corporate innovation and growth, strategies for tomorrow. We're going to have splendid speakers that I can see in front of me, but before them, we're going to also listen to some startup pitches. So I'm more than happy to welcome on this stage the startup e-Momentum. It's okay to clap.
Thank you. Hello, I'm Chiara from e-Momentum. e-Momentum is a sustainability tech company, uniquely positioned in the market by combining predictive energy and predictive maintenance. We help industries and infrastructure operators to reduce unexpected downtime, energy savings, and CO2 emission. Across everything is moved by electric motor. Our approach is so simple, but at the same time powerful. When even a small asset runs with a small defect, it means that consumes more energy and emits more CO2, and it breaks faster than it should. So we have demonstrated through industrial real test, that inefficiency can cause minor faults can cause energy inefficiency of up to 40%. Our solution brings together non-invasive sensor, AI algorithms, a cloud-based platform, and continuous expert support. What truly sets us apart is our sustainability focus and hands-on assistance we provide to every customer. The return on investment is typically achieved in under than 3 months, and in some cases in even under 30 days. And this is measured through energy savings, maintenance cost avoided, and production losses prevented. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, e-Momentum. If you want to meet the startup founder, they're all around you today. And the second startup today is Lazy. Is there any Lazy in the room? Here we go. Welcome. Have a nice speech.
Ciao tutti, hi everyone. I'm Thomas, I'm a partner at Lazy, and today I'm here to talk about Cosmi. So Cosmi is an AI-powered e-commerce solution that helps you generate better insights and increase your revenue online. We've seen, I think, as a company, a lot of increase in our sales and contribution to our growth through e-commerce platforms in the past years. It's becoming even more complex now. It's accelerating a lot, and we've seen a lot of our clients being already a bit left behind on the e-commerce platforms. It's about to change. Now we have the rise of AI solutions, whether direct LLM or AI integration on Amazon, for example. And a lot of brands we've been working on are blind today. They don't know how they perform versus the AI system. So at Cosmi, we bring clarity. We help you basically generate automatic analysis and insights around shopper data, like reviews, semantic analysis, for example, or analyze the performance of your brands on AI systems, for example, on Amazon, like Cosmo or Rufus. So we generate those insights, we help you build the e-commerce strategies based on this data, and then implement them. We work with global companies like Danone, for example, or Bayer Pharmaceuticals, or Alpro in Italy, to basically help them accelerate their e-commerce strategies and their AI performance thanks to Cosmi. we've seen double-digit impact on their e-commerce revenue thanks to the solutions we implemented for them. So yeah, it was great to be here today. If you want to know more, we are right there, stand B46 Cosmi. Thank you, everyone. Grazie mille.
Thank you, Lazy. Thank you so much. So after Lazy, we have Mattis. Ah, bonjour. Welcome, Mattis. Welcome on stage.
Thank you very much. I'm Nathan Shamma, co-founder and CEO of Metis SRL. Metis has built a data intelligence platform called Legenda, which is highly configurable and allows you to take full control of your internal knowledge base and integrate it with external data set and database providers. What differentiates us from generalistic AI tool providers is that on Legenda, all the information and knowledge is verifiable, audit-ready, and secure. We are one of the only European startups with SOC 2 Type 2 compliance, which means that we have performed third-party audits and were continuously monitored. And we've helped several corporates, public administration, and small, medium enterprises to make the best out of your knowledge base. That means compliance, back office, legal, or also exploration of more agentic features that go from customer care to HR. You can find us at C16. Oh, and I was tuned on the 90-second. So I can tell you an example of one company which we helped, which is Scientifica Venture Capital, which came to us with a specific request to help them navigate the complex IP information present in the European Patent Office database. We built a platform custom-made on our Legenda platform to help them integrate multimodal AI and search the Patent Office database. Another example is with the Chamber of Commerce of Milan, Monza, Brianza, and Lodi. We have them really decrease the problems they face with sanctions that they have to evaluate internally with their back office. So you can find more information at metisai.it or can reach out to me directly at C16. Thank you very much.
Well done, Metis. Congrats. So it's now the turn of Ogier. Am I pronouncing it correct? Ogier, of course not. Welcome, Ogier, on stage.
Hello everyone. Pleasure to be here. Well, first of all, I start with a question. How many of you did go to the beach this summer? I guess many of you, I don't know, from Milan and where you typically go, if maybe to Forte dei Marmi or to Sabaudia like me, I don't know, or to Hawaii Islands, maybe if you're very lucky. Well, regardless, your experience probably was to sit down on the beach and to be surrounded by pieces of plastic. And the fact that I'm on stage now and I have 2 bottles of plastic, it's even demonstrating that is a huge, enormous problem. Imagine that in these 2 minutes, the equivalent of 4 containers of plastic are dumped into the oceans as we speak. This is an insane problem. What we do is, in Ogier, and I will explain you why this name, we collect plastic from the sea and from the ocean. We started from Genoa, as we are from Liguria, but we immediately understood that, yes, in Italy it is a problem, but if we tackle it globally, we can have a bigger impact. So we started to work with fishermen in Indonesia, in Bali, in Senegal, in Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil, and we help local communities to be sustainable because we pay them for the plastic that they collect. Every transaction is in the blockchain, so we create plastic credits that we can give to customers, which is our supporters, our, let's say, sponsors that sponsor the programs of Fishing for Litter, is called. We work with very large companies we can mention, for example, La Feltrinelli from Milan. If you go to a La Feltrinelli store and you buy a couple of books, they will give you a cover that is made in recycled plastic from the ocean. So welcome, thanks to our supporters to improve the ecosystem where we live. We are at the booth B8 at the very beginning of the store of the SMAU. Thank you.
Thank you, Ogier. Thank you so much. So last but not least, we have Silotips in the crowd. Perfetto. Welcome, Silotips.
How do I... Can I start? Hi. So, hi everyone. I'm Claudia. I'm an account executive for Silotips. What Silotips is the fastest growing startup in Europe. So what do we do? Sorry, like the table. So what do we do? Basically, in this very continuously growing enterprise environment, which is continuously changing, there's like this huge wave of artificial intelligence that everyone is trying to surf in a way or another, in a better or in a worse way. So what do we do? Our aim is basically to turn what's a document-based, so a static AI, into a more dynamic and complex and developing knowledge base. So basically, we are turning AI into something that is AI that trains AI itself. How do we do this? We do it like with the combo of an AI agent orchestrator that, of course, knows when to follow up and ask to the subject matter expert, looking at the time, subject matter expert for support. So knowing, especially if there is a lack of information, lack of data, lack of context. So there's some information missing that doesn't like keep the accuracy of the answer at 100%. So of course it means that it's not trusted with the final user. So we then put the human in the loop back that only knows the exact team that has to follow, accept, decline, or integrate. We work mainly with the enterprises, and of course we have already like different use cases in contact center, IT service desk, IT manager, sales, so in many different areas. We already have, of course, very big clients. So yeah, we are Microsoft first. I myself actually am ex-account executive in Microsoft. I've been there for 6 years, and now I switched to Silotips, and we are full Microsoft. So if you know Copilot or you know Teams, or whatever our other M365 instrument, Silotips is integrated. It's also integrated with WhatsApp, so it's basically to give an extremely flawless experience to the user and also give a memory lane to the knowledge base that continues to grow as the company grows itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Silotips.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you so much. So very last but not least, do we have big profiles AI right now? No. Great, we can start because my struggle today is time. So I'm more than happy to welcome on stage our panelists today, thanking again our founders. I'm very proud of you all. And so I'm welcoming here with me Felix from Combien Foundry. Welcome. We can clap. We can also welcome Silvia from AET Community and especially AET Manufacturing. We can also clap for Beatrice Maestri coming to represent Electrolux. Then I'm welcoming also Laurent Chatelain from L'Oréal. Welcome, Laurent. And continue clapping because we have also Ludovic Saint-Onge from Orange Vab. Welcome, Ludovic. Nice to see you again. And from the best city in the world, which is Torino, Marco Gai from Zest. Thank you, Marco, for being with us today. So I'm going to sit here in a very comfortable way. Here I am. So this is a very rich panel because today I'm discussing with you one of the main topics of the whole SMAO Milano event, which is, of course, corporate innovation. And it's quite hard to have just one question for each panelist, but we're going to try to do our best today here with you. So I'm going to start with you, Felix, and I'm going to ask you if you can please describe to us very briefly what is Combien Foundry. And I read in the note that you are doing Venture Alliance. Can you please explain to us this concept while you explain to us what Combien Foundry is doing?
Yes, thank you for having me. And so maybe I start with a story of how Combien Foundry came into existence. And that is, it was, I think, 2018, two of the largest Nordic companies. They were doing a lot with startups. They were doing hackathons, accelerators, but they were really a bit frustrated because none of it was really leading to business impact. So then they kind of tasked Combien to come up with a way how can large companies and startups collaborate that it actually generates EBIT impact, strategic impact for the businesses. And that's when these two companies started using the what we call venture client approach. So we set up a structured way for these companies to work with startups so that they could identify the right challenges where startups can make a difference, then identify the startups that are really the top 2% for solving that challenge, and then to try it out in a very lean and cost-effective way. Does this solution actually address the problem that we have identified? And why we are a venture alliance is we do this for a lot of different companies like AstraZeneca, Atlas Copco, Scania, Traton, Kion, all over Europe. And we collect all of the deal flow that this creates. Because all of these companies are doing a lot of pilots with all kinds of startups around the world. And we collect all that deal flow and share it between the companies. So basically what we enable is that these large companies might have a project that's very successful, and all the other companies in the network can know about this project and can just directly redo it at their company. And on the other hand, like if the startup doesn't work, it's also shared within the network, because there's a lot of startups which have a lot of good logos on their website and case studies and promise a lot, but we really get to the deal flow, what actually works in the corporates. And yeah, so we are right now 12 companies from mainly Nordics and Germany, and we're also now opening to more companies that want to join us. Yeah, that's in short what we do in our Venture Alliance.
That's so cool. So which country are you considering for your next steps?
Yeah, of course, Italy. So that's why we are here.
Wow, of course, thank you so much.
No, I have a lot of companies in Germany that are now interested in like large companies that are interested in joining. And then Denmark, of course, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland. Those are the main countries we're focusing on right now. And of course, Italy. So, yeah.
Thank you, Felix. This is pretty interesting. And you know who can help you with Europe is exactly Silvia. Because Silvia, she's covering a very precious role into AET community. And I will leave her explain to us what AET is. I think, well, the majority of us know it, but maybe not. So thank you, Silvia, and we are all eager to listen to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you all. And yes, we can help you. So EIT stands for European Institute of Innovation and Technology. And what we're building is ecosystems. We build ecosystems in all around Europe, and especially country by country. So we are the only one financed by the Commission that have a local personnel in every single European country. What we do is we follow ideas from projects from ideas to growth, which means that we connect research centers, universities, startups, small, medium enterprises, and corporate in order to bring the innovation on the market. We kind of do similar to what you do with companies and with corporates, but also with small, medium enterprises. We have a huge focus on small, medium enterprises because for us, the innovation needs to be there as well, because otherwise we discuss about very few great innovators and no substance on the majority of the companies. And we introduce them to startups that are in a way similar to yours, certified, because we follow them country by country, and we bring them that are startups that are somehow already checked. And so I see a lot of communalities there and integration. And what we do in general to bring the innovation to the market is also to help either scouting financing methodologies on the market. So we are very experts on EU national, regional grants system. And on the other hand, we also have some grant money to fund some interesting innovation. The innovation that we usually tend to finance or that we help find grants are usually not for a single company, but they tend to be for an ecosystem as well. So it's a combination of inputs that then bring something, but they need to go on the market. So we don't finance pure research and development.
Thank you so much, Silvia. I think that many founders around me are interested in your words. And you mentioned big corporations while talking about SMEs. So this is why, more than naturally, Beatrice, the words come to you, representing here for us Electrolux. So I know that you're doing a lot in terms of open innovation. Would you love to tell us more about that?
Yes, sure. First, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure. Of course, in Electrolux, we're kind of, kindly hidden by the same situations as the automotive sector has been going through the last year. So with the current macroeconomical condition, geopolitical situation, the natural reaction of big corporation is to stand by and impose a bit the innovation activity. I think that the value that we bring within Electrolux with the team is indeed to keep looking at what's coming next, because the market dynamics are very complex and ambiguous and unpredictable as ever, as well as consumer habits, consumer needs. So it's very much important to stay close to the actors in the ecosystems, which are very much faster than us in stay ahead of the curve in intercepting signals from the market. And I'm referring, of course, to scale-ups and startups. So also in situations where, we're talking, the topic of the panel is strategy for growth. I would say strategy for growth in a context that we live in today, which is not simple at all. It's helping us to, keep investigating. And I would say that is the preferred and preferable channel to keep monitoring what's happening. So we use open innovation as a radar, I would say, for intercepting innovation opportunities, also beyond what is the internal current demand. I'm very fan of the motto, problem first, love the problem first. But yes, when you're slowing down a bit on innovation, maybe one of the receipts you could think of is indeed to inspire more. So to find and spot those dynamics, those trends that might inspire and kind of provide more insights for what comes next. And of course, it's not just startups, it's not just scale-up, it's also about working closely with the academia, because we're not just innovating on the core business, for which you need institutions and academic. We're innovating also outside of the core, where it's easier to monetize, to speed up. But it's also important not to forget the relationship with the academia and with the research that can help you investigating and stay close to what's happening in the heavy technology domains. But as I mentioned at the beginning, the context is not really helping. So how could you implement open innovation, execute open innovation in a way that is, supporting fast and fail-fast explorations? How can you adopt that light kind of approach without getting too much into the, bureaucracy and so on and so forth? So it's very much important in this moment that you could experiment through POC, fast projects, fast validation with all these actors. But an important part that we keep considering more and more within the open innovation is also the internal resources, is what is called the inside in innovation. We plenty in our companies, but also in your companies, I believe, of engineers, of marketeers, of operation field and field people that knows very well what they manage every day. So it's very much important to be very laser focused on what's the need we want to tackle, and also leverage their capability and the collective intelligence. Secret, I think, is to have a structured program which is institutionalized, which has a clear governance, and that's how we work down the line. But also very much important is to keep in mind the mindset and the importance of working on culture. So institutionalize the learnings and the failures that brings learnings and share them across the company. So these are the levers we're working with at the moment in order to keep momentum and make sure that we don't lose opportunities in a fast and light way.
It's fantastic, Beatrice, and I think that at the end of our first round of questions, maybe we can tell the audience how to work with us. So maybe we can start back after the intervention of other three speakers from Felix Sayen. I don't know if you want to share the contacts already or to give a open call to the audience here, but I think also from home, because we are also live streaming right now and this will be recorded for the future, everyone will be more than happy to understand how to do POCs with you, how to join the EIT community, how to become a venture allier. So there's a lot to share today. And talking of which, Monsieur Laurent, I would love to know what is the co-creation concept in the context of L'Oréal.
Yes. So first, a little introduction about L'Oréal. As you may not know, but L'Oréal was built by an entrepreneur. And in fact, he was a scientist. He was a chemist. And in 1909, he invented the first synthetic dye for hair coloration. And from there, he revolutionized the way you color hair. And the way you color hair today is roughly the same as what you used to do 115 years ago.
Innovation.
So, of course, we've extended now. We just don't do hair coloration. We do skin care, sun care, makeup. So we extended to many, many fields. But the company is still, we're still entrepreneurs at heart. But we realized something which is crucial, is that the future of beauty will not be built by us on our own. And we will really need to co-create it with the new entrepreneurs. And that's why a few years ago, we realized that the world changed, because maybe 30 years ago, our scientists in academia, they were not producing much value because they were not patenting. They were publishing. Therefore, there was no value. That's why most of our companies, large companies, they were developing, inventing within the company. But the world has changed, especially now. Now, every student, they want to create their company, patent their solution, their technologies. Therefore, we realize that most of the innovation is done outside of the company. But like many companies, is the field, is the way it goes. And that's why a few years ago, so we created the Open Innovation Team, which is quite large. It's global. We have roughly 30 people. And the goal really is to accompany this journey of working together, a startup and a large company. And we know it's not easy. Therefore, we put in place a sort of process, sort of pathway to success with the two types of companies. And the first one is really the spark time, the time where you discuss with a company, like it may happen in one of these events here, but it could be any other way, where on my side, I will try to identify what is the innovation in that technology, which I feel I can relate to something in the company. And as soon as there is a match between the startup and myself or any other colleagues, we will go quite straightforward to like an NDA, so that we can quickly reassure the startup, because we know that when a large company approaches a smaller one, they're usually a bit worried that we may pinch their technologies, and sometimes it happened. So the goal is quickly to discuss in a safe environment, see if both experts on both sides are happy with this. If we see that it's interesting, then we move to another type of contract, maybe a mutual transfer agreement, because I am with the RNI, so very often my technologies that I will be looking for will be an ingredient most of the time. Therefore, they can share openly their samples. It will be tested, evaluated in one of our labs around the world, depending on the technology. Then if this works, and we've learned as well that when you work with a startup, sometime, and I've met one just here actually before, that said, we sent you some samples 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, we never got any feedback. That's not good. That's not good at all. And really, so now we make sure that when we work with a startup, we understand their technology. They explain to us how to handle it, because they know their technology. We know how to formulate it, but we don't know how to handle it. So we make sure that we understand their technology. Then on the next step, if it works well, Then it's more the co-development phase where we will co-create together, hand in hand, maybe in the same lab. We will work with this technology to make sure that it moves as far as possible towards the development, which is close to a brand then. And then the last step, which will be the launch pad, where we'll find the suitable business model for both parties. Some startups don't mind being a supplier, therefore they will be a supplier. Sometimes they're in another field, and very often it is the case. The companies I work with are not usually from the cosmetic industry. They come from the pharma industry, from the food industry, from, I don't know, paintings. Therefore, we have to tweak and adapt their technology to ours. And then they just want a license. So we take a license, or sometimes we will do a joint venture, or sometimes we will purchase the company, which happens as well. So we are very, very flexible. So we've learned that even if 115 years later, we are a large company and we're not as flexible, we have learned that we need to be very flexible and listen to what are the needs and understand the needs of the startups to make sure that it's a success in the end for everyone. That's it.
Laurent. Well, I think it will be a fantastic question also for you, how to work with us. I think that a lot of startups eager to understand which is the correct pathway, and listening to them is, well, it's fantastic to hearing you saying that. Talking of working with external startup, mon ami Ludovic, can you tell us more about Orange Fab? And can you please explain to us how are you actually working with them?
I guess I can.
Merci.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Well, I see that like all corporate here are doing the same thing, so I will repeat myself a little bit compared to the all other speech we had, which was great, by the way. What we do, and let's say we do that for quite a long time now. It's been 15 years, so we have some running experience. And our job is really to build a connection. First, it's human connection. Then it will be a business connection between innovation carried on by startups or SMEs on the market and an internal team with Orange. It can be a business team that will address customers, so therefore Orange will be a distributor of the technology, or it can be an internal team that try to make the company working and will use some innovation to improve the way they work and the way they do their job. So that's our job. Why we are here? Because it sounds a bit natural to do that. We are here because without us, this occurrence of connecting people from outside and inside on innovative project will happen, but at a very smaller scale than what we can do if we really push up for this innovation. Because when you go in a meeting room with an internal team of Orange, for instance, and it's the same for any corporate and a startup, they can talk for hours, and at the end of the meeting, they will say, yeah, great, cool, but there is no action point, there is nothing really concrete on the table to continue. And then, if nobody is here to push for something to happen, well, people goes to business as usual, and the deal is not working, nothing happened. So our job is really, if we feel and we think that there is a good opportunity of creating, some value out of the startup proposal for Orange and for the startup, and we think that there is something to do, well, it's our job to push and to make sure that our teammates are not going back to sleep, and they start thinking and working about implementing something new. And it's a problem about innovation is new. So when you come to someone and you tell him that what he's doing or not, what he never did before, or what he's doing for 15 years or 20 years can be done differently, it's a whole set of mind to accept that we can change and we can adopt new way of working, new way of thinking, new tools. It's never easy. So there is cultural change that we need to push. I love to come to SMO because I'm always invited. So thank you. It's always nice to be here. But we have some success with some startups that are here. For instance, Big Profile that didn't come. They work with us for a few years now.
This is the reason, Ludovic.
What?
This is the reason why they didn't come.
So
They were
I
afraid
don't
of
know,
you.
yeah, they were afraid. But and people in Orange are very, very happy with them. They are doing some, predictive job on list. Like you give them a list of customers coming from your CRM, and you want to start an anti-churn campaign or an upsell campaign or an acquisition campaign, and they will sort the list with the by probability of people that will accept your the deal, the what way you will call them, and we have people doing that. I mean, we have teams within Orange doing this type of calls. And they are using Big Profile and are very, very happy with the output, with the quality of work. And now I did the first deal with this company with one of the team within Orange. But my job is not to say, okay, it's done. It's to say, okay, how can I upsell and go further with this solution and find other use case within Orange. And so that's my job, finding solution like that, connecting this solution with some business team, having this business team using the solution, being happy with using the solution, and then finding other use case to scale up the use of this solution within the company.
Merci, Ludovic. Merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. So you said the word predictive, you said the word CRM, and everything leads to AI, of course. So dear Marco Guy, coming from the best city in the world, Torino, I'm going to ask you if you can please tell us more about what Zest is doing in terms of open innovation and working with startups. And I know you're giving up specific attention on AI in your programs, is it?
Yes, thank you. Good day, everyone. Starting from Zest, we realize a unique company that collect the investment program, acceleration program, investment in startup, early stage startup, and AI startup with open innovation program to bring the technology transfer from the startup to the corporation. So nowadays we are doing a lot of open innovation program using artificial intelligence to develop a new wave of collaboration. Now we are seeing that the collaboration between startups, university, corporation is changing the paradigm using open innovation. And with open innovation approach, we are seeing that using data coming from startup, coming from corporation, we can accelerate the use by the corporation of new technologies. So we are working hard to make the corporation, the biggest one, the large corporation, it's easier, of course, because there are some people that has the responsibility of open innovation, of innovation program, but in small business enterprises, it's quite different because there is not a method to understand how. So we are trying to set up with artificial intelligence algorithm some like digital twin to understand the impact of new technologies. And we are bringing the startups for each sectors to the small business enterprises and to the large corporation to understand how can transfer technologies and how to use their technologies to have impact. And impact for us is the way to go to the market, as said before. And the impact is how to change the process, but not only processes are inside the corporation, but the products too, because nowadays we know that using the open innovation approach, the open innovation paradigm, we can develop quickly the usage of new technologies in products production. Sorry for the... And there is a good point, last Open Innovation European Insight, that over the 70% of large corporation, European large corporation, nowadays use startup and artificial intelligence to bring innovation in our processes, in their developing. So I think that the next goal will be to bring this approach to small business enterprises. So we can really make a unique approach using all the supply chain value.
Well, coming from the Italian market, talking about SME is the thing in this room. So thank you for pointing it out. And in favor of SMEs, we have plenty of those in this room. In favor of startups and in favor of any kind of enabler in this room, I'm kindly asking you if we can do a quick answer to the very big question, how to work with us. So I'm asking these dear speakers to tell not just to the people in the room, but also for all those that are listening to this intervention in the future, how people can reach out to you and how can you open doors for them, which is the most efficient way to get in contact with your entity. Thank you so much. Laurent, si tu peux le passer.
I start, okay.
Okay, so we can do from the end to the beginning, exactly.
Okay. It's the same, exactly. But I think that we can open our doors in three ways. The first one, if you are a startup, we can work together in our acceleration program. Now we are setting up a rolling mode to enable the continuous investment from our side and the continuous approach to transfer technology and to bring startup to corporation. The second way is for corporation. We have nowadays 20,000 startups in our database, so we can help the corporation to find out not the best, but the more similar approach for the need the corporation has. The third one is, for me, it's very important to university, because a good idea without an industrial approach, without a realization of a product is only a good idea. Check. So we can help them to enforce the team, to realize the team, and to let the team create at first their MVP, and then a startup then can work with the corporate.
Thank you, Marco. So everyone in the room, you got it, right? Perfect. Ludovic, comment on peut travailler avec vous?
Well, very quickly, first you have to get in touch with us, but with a quick Google search, you will find us on the web, Orange Fab. Orange startups. Well, usually, so we get in touch with startups because we meet them in a place like this, or many often they came to us through LinkedIn, through email, and the first thing we do is we check the solution if it sparks something in our mind, saying, yeah, it's a good idea, it's new, and we know where to go in our company to try to sell this idea. So we need to pass this first brain barrier. And then, well, what we do is we discuss with you the best approach to sell your product, to sell your what you do, your service. And then we go to see the, this is our job to do that, not the job of the startup, but we go to see the team inside Orange to push the subject and try to see if there is some people that wants to dig on the subject. And if it's the case, the relation starts, and we are here to make sure that it will not stop just for no reason. And that's the way it goes.
Merci Ludovic.
So I think it's a bit the same as Ludovic. What I said to startups, whether for L'Oréal or any, I said, try to identify if there is an open innovation team, first thing. If there is one, that's not bad, because reach out to the person, one of these person in open innovation, because these teams that have been put in place for the last few years, usually we have a very broad view of what's happening in a large company. Therefore, first we should roughly know if it's interesting or not interesting. If it's interesting, we will chat with them, see to get a bit more information. Once we know it's a bit interesting, then we will know which person, after a short time. So sometimes large companies is complicated, but we will find out where is the person that could be interested in that technology. That will be the second discussion. And then there will be the third one under NDA because we think it's interesting and etc. So first, try to find open innovation, because it's true, if you find anybody in L'Oréal, you will be sent there and there and there and there, and then it doesn't go anywhere. So find us, discuss with us, and then we will guide you. That's our job. We're there to accompany you in your journey with these large companies. So, and then after it's standard, it moves along.
Absolutely. This is not to be for granted. Of course, we have a lot of tools right now that can help us in these kind of researches, but it's a very good point. And I think that also in the case of Beatrice, you have a very great and large company, so you need to detect who to talk with.
No, exactly. And we have had the same situation you just described, startups getting ping-ponged among different teams, right? So that's also the reason why. And so the short answer is go on open.electrolux.com. There we do advertise our active campaign, not always. Sometimes we need to keep them internally. But you can also, submit your general proposal, whether it matches or not the current scouting. You will be stored kind of there. So when we do have upcoming requests, we usually leverage the community and we reach you out actively. It's also a way to, maybe there's no match for now, but maybe there's a match for the future. You can update your proposal, and there is the first contact you can have with Electrolux. It also helps to better manage throughout the process the connection and the relationship, but also in terms of how we work, I would say there's no one size fits all. I'd say that usually we do start from our, of course, internal need, but then, of course, we need to find an alignment across expectations that we both have in order to set up a win-win approach, though we usually, tend for venture clienting, but then, of course, it will be tailor-based, I would say, and based on the specific technology readiness, or if it is a business opportunity, it might be different.
Thank you, Beatrice, for underlining another aspect of talking with corporation, which is time. Because we are used to have very fast enabler, very fast decision maker, but not always the team can take that decision so shortly, so quickly. So thank you, Beatrice, for underlining that. Maybe it's not today, but maybe it is tomorrow. Silvia, tell us more about EIT community. How can we interact with your entity?
Okay, so if you have an issue that, or a startup or a company that operates in manufacturing, you can contact us directly, you can contact me directly, and we start a conversation. Whereas if you have an issue regarding any other sector, we have in our office a person that is responsible also for putting you in contact with all the other EITs, whatever they are.
Because you have many, right?
We have many, we have 9. And this person is Marta Molinero, so you can reach out to her and she will put you in contact with the right one.
I can see Marta's hearing right now, zooming. But fantastic for Marta to reply because you are present in all countries, in all Europe, with different sectors. So it's very important for us to understand that it's not just manufacturing that we are, of course, representing today, but the call is open also for all other sectors involved in here.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Silvia. Last but not least, Felix, how can we work with you in Northern Europe?
Yes, thank you. So if you're a startup, you can always just reach out to any of our team members. They know exactly all of the open innovation managers in each of the companies we work with. And if it's a good solution that you have, we will also be able to connect you. And then we have 2 types of companies. So some companies come to me and they say, we don't have anything, like we don't have any structured collaboration with startups. So there we can help you set it up, put all the structures in place, the strategy, the organization, the processes, everything that many of your companies already have. And then the other types of companies that come to us are ones that have run a program for several years and maybe either are not happy with it or want to take it to the next level and really get more business impact out of it. And that's, of course, something we can do. We have built some of the best teams at BMW, Bosch, Siemens, BSH. So we know how to take it to the next level for each company. And then the last one is really our strategic partners. For example, EIT, we're already in contact. NVIDIA, AWS, like if you're like a company that is kind of supporting this whole ecosystem, we're also more than happy to work with you. And for example, we have hundreds of VCs that are feeding their deal flow to us. So actually, most people can work with us and just reach out to us and we will find the right person internally to help you.
Thank you, Felix. Thank you to all the panelists that shared with us all the insight. I'm more than happy and I was honored to be here with you today. And I invite you all, of course, to the next panel, which is going to happen at 3 p.m. Focus will be sustainability. And thank you so much, speakers from all over Europe, to cover this topic with me and with the founders in the room. Let's connect. Please take advantage of these fantastic speakers. Thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon.